Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another episode of Why We Play the Game, and part 5 of A Game Like No Other. Today I want to talk about the journey. This game that we play is, while I did do a video a while back on winning and losing, and I do believe you can win if you set goals for yourself, it's really all about the journey. All the steps along the way, this grand epic tale that you're spinning with your friends and family and fellow gamers, whether it be a nightly game, a weekly game, a monthly game, whatever. You're building up a story for you to remember long after the dice have been put away and the books have been shelved, etc. You're going to have these memories of this game, and while the memories won't be the same in everybody's mind, you will have a lot of shared common experiences together that you're all going to remember for many, many years to come. And I've been hearing a lot lately about how a lot of modern gamers, can barely get through eight games before calling it quits and getting bored. Whereas old schoolers, a lot of my good friends out there, they insist on the year long, the 2 year, 3 year commitment to the game, which, I'm absolutely in favor of. It's like, joining a football team. You're going to be there for the year. This is a commitment you're making to everybody else involved, that you will be there on time and ready to play, healthy, well rested, and raring to go to play this game like no other, to experience these things that you could never experience in the real world. And like I said, to create this tale, this epic story of your ups and your downs, your successes, your failures, your victories and defeats along the way. But it's all those little things in between that really make this all about the journey and not the destination. Sure, the game master may have a big boss fight plan for the very end, not knowing how or when or where you're going to get there, but when you get there and you defeat the lich or the dragon or what have you, that that's where the story ends. And for some people, they don't want it to end there; they want to continue on. But it's that whole idea of continuing on, to keep going even after the big bad guy was defeated. If you look back to the Lord of the Rings, it wasn't over when the ring was destroyed. That could have been the last page. But no, even Tolkien in writing of the Lord of the Rings trilogy knew that there was something pulling him back to Middle Earth, making him continue writing even after the very last page. He went back to Middle Earth. He wrote other stories and couldn't get away from it. Couldn't give up that longing for that place that he couldn't get to in the real world, but through the imagination and writing, he could go there. He could experience all these things that make for this wonderful, wonderful story in his head and on paper throughout the world in multiple languages. We can all experience and share the same thing. And with this game, Dungeons and Dragons specifically, although all the role playing games are the part and parcel of the same idea, the same hobby. I'm just going to, for argument's sake, stick with Dungeons and Dragons, because those games tend to be the ones that run actual campaigns that go on for, years and years and years. I'm still running a game that's been going on for 25 years because we don't want to let go. We don't want to give it up. The journey's not over. As long as I have, breath in me and I can still roll some dice, I'm going to still be running these campaigns. Not just because I am addicted and love the absolute hobby to death, but I don't ever want to stop experiencing the little details, the big details, the epic battles, the fumbles, the 1 in a million shots that make it, the millions of shots that fail. All this stuff adds up, because we don't always just remember the really big things when we reminisce about this hobby or a particular campaign or game that we were in. We sometimes remember some of the little kind of dumb things. The things that, wouldn't make for a clip in a commercial. If we were making a movie, we wouldn't put those details in, in the commercial for the movie. But sometimes we remember those things more strongly than some of the bigger events. And that's just because of the whole human condition. We bond with each other over a lot of different things and a lot of different reasons. And we'll never stop doing that. We're always going to want more from this hobby, from this adventure. I can't think of any game that I've been in as a player that I was like, okay, it's over, cool, nice game. Maybe we'll play again sometime. It's always, when's the next game, right, Bruce? Right, Crafty? I'm never going to stop asking, when's the next game? Because we want to get back to it. We want to keep going. We don't want there to be an end. They say the ending is the hardest part to write. Well, we don't have to. We can keep going. Maybe, we'll get hit by a bus and we'll never write the ending of our story, but our players will remember it. And maybe, one of them will pick up your mantle and carry on as the new DM. Or maybe you'll just, imagine the ending in your own mind and that'll be how it ended. And your friends will have completely different versions of that same story. But we all want to keep going. And so for all of you guys out there that are new to the hobby, understand that this doesn't come to an end unless you quit. And for me, that's how you lose. That's how you lose the game, is when you quit and you give up and you just say, to heck with it, I'm going to find something else to do. That's how you lose. And for me, I'm never going to quit, and I'm never going to stop journeying throughout the countless game worlds out there, looking for the next adventure, never wanting it to end. That's just the nature of the beast, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to, sure, we're going to find other games along the way. It's like, yeah, I want to play this game now. Yeah, but you're going to want to come back to the other game. And if you don't, then that was, unfortunate and probably a side effect of other things that got in the way of the game and not the game itself. In an ideal, perfect situation, you'd run the same campaign until you couldn't anymore, until all the players moved away, passed away, or, you yourself have, come to an untimely end and can no longer, sit behind that DM screen and tell the players, this is what happens, this is what you see, etc. I hope, that that's a long way off for me, because I got a lot more games to run. I'm going to be talking about that in one of the next videos, the campaigns that I plan on running in 2023, because it's about time to run something, for a whole new group of people that I've never gamed with before, maybe a couple that I've gamed with online, but I'm looking forward to that, because for me it's the journey, it's not the destination, and I have no idea what the destination is except the next game. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's little ramble, and sorry that it took a couple of days. Real life got fun, so I couldn't make it in front of the camera, but rest assured my son and I will have a lot more things to share with you through the rest of this year and well into the next century. I hope that we'll all be gaming together. So from all of us here at Shadow and Sun, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to an old guy ramble about the greatest game ever, a game like no other. So happy trails.